Hi, today I'm going to show you how you can make a custom subpixel platform movement with slopes. So I went ahead and made a little level that we can use for this demonstration. So first you have to make a player collision box. This doesn't have any values, so we have to add some. Since it's a subpixel movement, we have to use values for the X position and the Y position, and then we'll have the X speed and Y speed. So at the start of frame we want to set the X position, the value X plus to the position X of the collision box, and likewise with the value Y plus. Then we'll have this then we'll start the loops. Always start loop. We'll use two loops for this, one for the X movement and one for the Y movement. So we'll set this to the absolute value of the X speed, and we'll start the Y loop to the absolute value of its Y speed. So now we want to create gravity. So if it's not overlapping a backdrop, then we will add to its Y speed, say 1, and then unloop Y. We want to set its Y position to its Y position plus its Y speed, and we want to set the Y position to the value Y plus. So we change the value and then we change the position afterwards. So this only happens if it's not overlapping a backdrop on the Y loop, and if it is overlapping a backdrop, then we want to set it the other way. So we take minus Y speed, and we want to reset the Y speed so it doesn't keep on falling. So it's set back to 0. So this makes our collision box fall to the ground. So to make this more dynamic, we will add the value that we call for gravity. And instead of adding 1, we want to add the value of gravity and make it a lot lower. So now it's only a half instead of 1, so it should fall a bit slower. Maybe we'll make this even lower. Let's make the X loop. Then on X loop we want to set the X pass to its X pass plus its X speed, and that's if it's not overlapping a backdrop, and we want to set the X position to its X plus. Then if it is overlapping a backdrop, then you will set it the other way. So negate the speed and set the x speed to 0, just like with the y speed. So these are essentially the same as the y. So now we just have to be able to move. So if I'm holding down right, I will add, let's make a acceleration value, let's say 5, and let's set the x speed to its x speed plus acceleration times 0.1. And if we hold down the left key, the reason I use the set function instead of the add or subtract is because it's easier to just copy the code, and later on we're going to do something that is just better to use the set function for. So now let's see the values for this. Oops. Yeah. This should be y speed divided by the absolute value of y speed. So we either get a 1 or a -1. And the same for this one. Just take minus here, and we do the same with the x speed. So you take the x speed divided by the absolute value of x speed. And just copy this and paste it in here and subtract instead. I found the mistake here is y speed. Of course we are going to set the x speed to x speed minus the acceleration. So now we can move from left to right, but as soon as we get to a slope we collide with it. So let's make an event where we can jump first. When we press shift, we'll have a value that we call jump strength, and this will be -5. You can tweak this as much as you want later on. Then we'll set the y speed to its jump strength. Let's just put this up with the y values, or the y movement. Let's add some comments actually. Y movement and x movement. So now we can jump, but we have, let's add some more gravity. 3. Let's make the jump strength better. Well, so now for the slope. So when we hit the slope, we want to start the loop slope up 4 times for 4 pixels. So on the loop slope up, we want to set its bypass to its bypass -1 and set its Y position to its bypass. So this will pull the collision box up if it hits the slope, and of course we only want to do this if it's overlapping a backdrop. So actually we'll have to make another one of these and just get rid of this one and get rid of the slope loop here, and we have to put this unloop slope up before this other collision. So first we run the X loop, it will calculate the position and move it, and then it will check if it's colliding with a backdrop. Then it will it will notice that we collide with the slope, and it will start the slope up. So as long as it's overlapping a backdrop, we want to pull it up a pixel, and as long as it's not overlapping a backdrop, we just want to stop the loop slope up. And then if it's still overlapping a backdrop after all this, then it will put it back 1 pixel on the x-axis. So now we should be able to move up slopes, but we will fall down the slopes. And also you can see as it bounces like this when I walk towards the wall. This we will fix by having a slope up, on loop slope up, if the loop index of slope up equals 3. This you will have to modify if I start the loop 5 times, then I would have to put 4 here. And then we'll set the Y pass to its Y pass +3 or +4, and set its position Y to its Y pass. So now I don't bounce up and down when I walk towards the wall. So now for the downward sloping, because we fall down the slopes since we're moving so fast. So we want to get pulled down the slopes. So if we're not overlapping a backdrop on this event, we want to start the loop slope down. From earlier experiences, I figured that 8 is a good number. So on the loop slope down, we want to pull the box downwards, the collision box. So we'll set the Y pass to its Y pass +1 and set its Y position to its Y pass. And this is if it's not overlapping a backdrop. But if it is overlapping a backdrop, then we want to set it to -1 and stop the loop slope down. So now you see we get pulled down the slopes, but when I jump I get pulled down when I move when I move and jump, I get pulled down as well. So the way to fix this is on the loop, slope down. If it goes to the end of the loop without it colliding with the backdrop, so loop index slope down is equal to 7. Remember, since we have 8 loops, then we have to make it equal to 7, because this is a 0 base index. So it will count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we'll set its Y value, the Y pass, to its Y pass minus 8. And set its position Y to its Y pass. So now I can jump freely and I get pulled down the slopes. So now for the subpixel movement part. When on this here, when we move to the sides, we will set this value. This will return either 1 or minus 1. So we will multiply this by 0.1, and also when we collide with the backdrop down here, where it pulls us out of the wall, we will set it to 0.1, multiply it by 0.1. Let's add some comments. Pulls the collision box down when in slope. Pulls the collision box up when in slope. And this here pulls the collision box out of a wall. So now, since we multiply this by 0.1, we will move incredibly slowly, but it will be subpixel movement. As you can see, I can move really slow, but this we can fix by just increasing the acceleration value. And we don't want the firstly we want to deaccelerate when we're not holding any of the buttons, so I'll add a comment: acceleration deacceleration. So when we're not holding the right arrow and x speed is greater than 0, we will set its x speed to its x speed times 0.98. So that's probably a bit low, or high rather, so let's try 0.9. now it stops. But as you can see, the value is there's still above 0 value, so after a long while we will move 1 pixel. So let's say if the X speed is greater than 0. Or it's lower than 0.1, then we'll set the X speed to 0. So let's copy this, do it for the left key. If it's lower than 0, we'll set the X speed to its value times 0.9. If it's, yeah, and if it's of course greater than 0 minus 0.1, or if it's greater than, yeah, 0 minus 0.1. Now we're deaccelerating both ways. Of course, if you don't want to be able to move down the slopes at such an angle, you can just adjust the number of loops here. Instead of 8, you could use 4, 6, whatever. And when you jump, you can jump in the air. Maybe you want this, but most likely you don't want to. So let's make a flag for this. Let's call it on ground. And when you press the shift key here, you will set the flag on ground to off. And of course you can only do this if the flag is on. And we want to set the flag on if we collide with a backdrop on the Y loop. Sorry, this was the wrong one. Here, if we collide with the backdrop, we want to set the on ground on, and if the Y speed is greater than, say, 1, then we'll set the flag on. Then we'll set the flag off. So now I can only jump when I hit the ground. But I can't, or when, yeah, but I can't do it if I'm in the air. So now you can make your own platform movement and just adjust these to however you like, and it will work for all the games you want. So I hope you learned something, and I'll see you next time.